everybody, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be telling you how to be a working student athlete in high school because I was one, so I want to help other people because it's not the easiest thing. Maybe for some people it is, but for me it was a little difficult, but I have some tips and tricks that make it just a little bit easier, so let's get started. So in high school, the first 2 years I played soccer and the last 2 years I played tennis. When I was playing soccer, I didn't really have a lot going on because I didn't have a job or anything yet, so this will be geared towards the last 2 years, which were recent, so I know everything that's going on. So whenever I had first started high school, I did not use a planner at all. Like when I say at all, I mean 0%. Did not use a planner, would not recommend to a friend. But now I tell people, like, if you don't have anything, have a planner because it will save your life. So my biggest and best tip for juggling school, playing a sport, and working is to have a calendar. So I still have my calendar from high school. It is just this pink planner and it says agenda. It's from Target. It's the brand Sugar Paper. I actually love their planners and stuff. The planner I have this year is from Shop Studio, blah blah blah, but you'll see that in my what's in my college backpack video. But this is about this. So this is actually my planner from the 2016-2017 year. So this would have been my senior year when I was the absolute busiest and I had to juggle school, job, blah blah blah, and sports. So the reason that I say have a planner is because I wasn't playing any sports in August, but okay, so I don't know how well you can see this. Actually, I have something cool that I'm gonna do. Okay guys, so I am this way with the camera now, so mind you, there's a lot going on here. So as you can see, I had my hours on here all the time. I was working at Sonic in high school, so I was even more stressed because fast food is not easy. So as you can see here, I had tennis tryouts day 1 and tennis tryouts day 2. So just by doing simple things like that, so then let's go to February when we started having games. I would have my hours, and then I would also write like tennis match. I would write it like in the top, like in the corner. Let's see, and then I had tennis off to the side here. So this just, wow, okay. I like to do the little boxes instead. So I would have tennis match, and then I'd have Sonic 9 to 4 the next day, and then I'd write like tennis match, Sonic, blah blah blah. So the good thing about having a planner, I'll let you guys take that in for a little while. The good thing about having a planner is that you're able to literally see every single day, like, okay, I might have, Sonic 10:30 to 4 today, but I need to remember that I'm going to go to the gym, but then the next day I have a tennis match. So I like cross through the days, check what happened already, so it's like now I have to do Sonic 6 to 10. Oh, look at that, Call City Donut back, and that's where I work this summer. But anyway, so the good thing about having a planner is that you can visually see, like, I'm one of those people that if I don't see it, I'm not going to remember it. So having a planner is for real, like, you will not survive trying to work and play sport and go to school without a planner. Because I even had stuff like, okay, chemistry test, Sonic 5 to 11, prom, tennis match, and then all that other stuff. And I would have, been a little behind or a little more confused if I hadn't had my planner. So the good thing about a planner, I know I'm like really stressing this planner thing. I've got a couple more tips, but the planner thing is really important because even my other tips go along with it, but it just helps you map everything out and you never have to like stress and be like, oh my gosh, do I have a tennis match that day? Like blah, 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 blah. So that leads me to my next point, that give your job your sports schedule as soon as you get it. Print them off a copy, print yourself a copy, like, do whatever you have to do. Just make sure that your manager at your job or your owner or whoever has your schedule, because what you don't want to do is do what I did and what my friend Jeffrey did when he played tennis my junior year, and that is leave a tennis game early or just leave any sports game early to get to work, or having to, work around your job and they're like, oh, well, we're gonna have to cut your hours then since you can't come in on those days. Like, no, let them have it as soon as you get it and you say, these are the days of my games, I cannot work at all that day. Like, don't try to make it to work after you have a game. Like, just spend time with your teammates and actually enjoy your game. You don't want to be worried about how you have to get to work by 5, but the matches start at 3:30, but your match isn't until 4:30, but you need to be work at 5. give your schedule to your manager, your boss, whoever in power. Don't just give it to your coworker or anything. And make sure that you get those days off. That will help you be successful in being a working student athlete, because you don't have to worry about your job and your sport what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have to worry about them colliding, clashing, all of that good stuff, which is not good stuff actually, because you don't want it to happen. So juggling school on top of all of that, like, I'm gonna go back to the planner because I'm telling you guys, the planner is so important. Like, I'm probably gonna talk about planners forever, because literally, as you saw in March, every single day I had something to do. Starting from March 1st all the way to March 31st, I had something to do. So what I love about certain planners, which hopefully all of them have it, but it's probably really like washed out, but basically what it is that they have like big blocks for you to like write in rather than the tiny boxes. And then some of them, like my new planner, even has line sections. This one has a note section in the back with lines. Also, sorry if it's super washed out. I'm trying to explain it in words if you can't see it, because I have to make sure that the lighting's good for me, not for this, because I did the part about this. But that allows you to actually write out. I'm trying to find an example of mine, but it literally just makes it so much easier, because you can write out, okay, I have a chemistry test that I need to study for, and then I have a tennis game my tennis games are usually at 3:30. I know that you guys don't all play tennis, but that's just what I played, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm using in my analogies. But you'd be like, okay, I have to study for my chemistry test tomorrow, and I have a tennis game starting at 3:30. But the good thing about tennis, and I don't know about much other sports, but with tennis, like, of course, you know, you want to watch your teammates and support them, but there will be times that you're not playing, so you might have a little bit of extra time to study. But for me, don't do what I did. I like never really did homework or studied or anything, because I had lab periods, which allowed me to work on my online class and also study and work on other classes. But definitely a lot time. Sometimes I even took my study materials to work, but one time I got in trouble because apparently if they see us doing that on the clock, like if corporate sees us on the clock, like doing stuff for school, then our managers can get in trouble. But I don't see how that makes any sense, because, you know, some people, you know, they just want to, like, if I'm at work, like, I don't have to be here, but, you know, like, you know what I mean, like, you're there, so you might as well use the most of your time. Like, I would never just, like, sit and study while there were customers and we were busy. It'd be like when it was, like, less busy and we had downtime. So if your job is okay with it, though, it's super simple to just take your stuff with you and then just have like a little notebook or your planner and even jot some notes down in there. So, but although it is hard, it is achievable. Like, there's nothing that it's not going to be so hard to the fact where you feel like crying, which it might be sometimes when, you know, you're tired and things aren't adding up. But just remember, like, you love your sport and you love your job, hopefully, or you love money. And then obviously schoolwork is very important, so just try to find a way that you can get all those things to connect together, like study between games, study at the breaks if you want. I mean, other people study different ways, but as far as, you know, working, make sure that they have your schedule ahead of time, way ahead of time. Don't try to give it to them week by week. Just go ahead and say, put it in the calendar, can't be here, blah, blah, blah. So to wrap this video up, I just want to say that, you know, I was a working student athlete for 3-ish years, because my sophomore year I did have a job, but I worked like 1 day a week, so pretty much like 2.5 years. But it's not something that you can't do. If you will get a planner and stay organized, that will literally help you so much. That's the biggest thing I can say to anybody trying to be a working student athlete. Get a planner, stay organized, stay on top of it, and just do your best in your sport, in your job, and at school. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, of course, you can always comment down below. Or if you don't want to, like, put it out there, you can always DM me on Instagram. My DMs aren't necessarily open, but I do see the message requests, so I can just click on it, accept it, and we can talk if you'd like. So I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!